What's
hello,
up?
hello.
How you doing?
Hello, Banter.
You've given yourself another name.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, I know you miss me.
Like seriously? Let me start from that. How do you today?
I'm fine, darling. How you look good? You know,
Thank
always
you.
looking good.
Thank you. But don't mind this voice, so we'll manage it.
Of course, we have no choice.
The lights.
It's good to be on the show.
This one I forced it like this, like you're ready to battle.
Yes, I'm preparing my mind against this guy. He loves me.
Oh,
He just can't help it.
Okay, so Julie, what's up? I know you're
Well, everything good and nice. I'm set for today. I just want to kick it, kick it.
this guy. All right, easy.
Oh well, it's good to be here again. It's good to be here.
Easy boy.
To be here,
Yes,
easy boy.
I'm so easy. I'm so easy. I'm so
And he's
easy.
taking it really easy.
Yeah.
All right, you are welcome once again, and we'll just go straight into the topic. To start with, we want to look at public and private schools. To start with, we'll be having a conversation around this, and I would say that here in Nigeria, we'll see education at sometimes very mandatory. Especially from ages 6 to 15, where we take from the nursery, primary, and I think basically that primary level from primary 1 to primary 6, we call it class now. I think they don't use primary.
Year one.
To year 6, and for some maybe they get to JSS3, and luckily for some they extend to SS3 and further to the higher institution. Well, in all categories, education is education, and we just want to look around it. Let's compare private and public schools at all levels. So we have a teacher in the house, so we'll start from So Dami, you can help set the pace.
Okay, thank you very much. First and foremost, public schools are those ones owned, like we all know, by the government, right? And while private schools are the ones that are owned by certain individuals. Okay, so basically the difference between them, like as a result of my own experience after visiting public and private schools, is basically amenities. They don't have the basic amenities. You see some public schools in these recent times they're still using chalk. I was surprised when I saw some of them. Yes.
I used chalk while I was in school.
Currently. And then again, well, I don't mention some schools. There's some also that are private but still use chalk anyway.
But does that have any impact on the learning process?
Okay. Well, it depends. It depends because they still learn. Learning is learning, but with advanced technology is faster.
Yeah.
They learn more, they see more things, you have the system, you have, the world is now a global village, so you're exposed to more. But chalk, you're still in the ancient of days now. When they say ape man became from ape to man, Charles Darwin's theory. So,
If I may ask, what are basic amenities do you feel that public schools do not have?
You don't have and apart from amenities also, staffing also. They are understaffed, which is very important, and they have wider range of student to teacher ratio. The students are more than the teachers. Okay, some of them don't have fans, some of them don't have light, some of them don't have. You can imagine some of them. The buildings are just like that. It's not properly built and all of that.
Okay, so basically you're speaking to public schools now.
Yeah, I'm speaking to public schools. Okay.
So let's have it.
I've listened to all that she has said. I beg to differ from what she has, because I've been to, in fact, the only place I attended a private school was maybe in my primary.
Okay.
My secondary, my uni, I go to public home.
Okay.
And I can tell you to a fact that it may not be to the extent of private school, the facilities and everything they have, it may not be up to that extent.
Okay.
But I can tell you that the basic things that are there is sufficient to help the students while learning. But either way, we must still remember that public school is more affordable than those private schools. Private schools, they can even collect up to, money for the little thing like pen or pencil. They can collect money for it. So public schools do not charge for anything, and maybe just the common things like why all those things that we pay for, but they don't collect tuitions like what the private schools does. Even in terms of teacher qualification, public schools have more qualified teachers than the private schools. I take for instance the universities. You see that in some universities you have more public, in some private universities you have more public school teachers or more public federal government lecturers coming to lecture in those universities. I also give an instance of another point of maybe what they call it now, classroom size. The private schools may have more, less students, but public schools have more.
And that's as a result of affordability.
Yeah, but
That may not be as a result of affordability.
It's part of
it
it.
is.
No,
It
it's
part of it.
no,
There
it's
is
not.
It's part of this
See,
because
it is.
Okay,
a-
let's just hear you.
good
Let's hear.
amount of the average
Yeah.
Nigerian do not have that money to go
go and
pay
pay.
for.
How many in a, okay, for instance, in a, I don't know if you attended a public university, in 100 level you find out a full hall,
Yes.
a long hall is full. If you go to a private university, where do you want to see that? How many people can even afford 1 million to pay for school fees, or even half a million to pay for school
You
fees?
know. Okay, so let's come to Julie before we get to Israel.
Well, it all depends on how we want to see it, which is better, public or private. For some reasons, I think the essence is either school you go to, at the end of the day, we should be able to say the expected outcome has been met. And over the years, Nigeria as a nation, we've had our leaders through and through being taught and raised in public schools from Nnamdi Azikiwe, Amadu Bello, Obafemi Awolowo, Wole Soyinka, Ralph Obara, Muyiwa Awe. You know, these they are all public schools.
Schools
And-
like
and
top
at
college,
that time, these people
that
have not risen to
produce-
that point that they begin to think of having their own.
Wait,
you know,
no,
and
let him
A
talk.
lot of
I'm
them-
gonna pick
I
him up.
even doubt.
I'm gonna-
I even doubt that
And
there's
it's
any
extremely
private
focused.
institution that
Yeah.
has brought out prominent Nigerians
Yeah,
like
very,
Unilag and King's College.
and also, you know, he started something about he
I'm
started
proud
something
case you-
Queen's
I know.
College,
Okay,
Queen
so,
Amina
yes.
in Ilorin.
Okay.
He also made mention of something about standards. Government regulate the standards
Okay.
in public schools, unlike what you have in private schools in most cases.
Even
I mean-
even private schools come to public schools to borrow syllabus and this thing
Yeah, the whole
for a
curriculum.
term.
And so,
Yeah,
so
no,
to a very
Okay, so let's allow him.
qualified,
Let's allow him.
you have
Let's
more
hear him.
qualified teachers in the public sector than you would in private.
Yeah.
When it comes to education, I mean, the government is very serious about it, and even child discipline, because after your school, you say, after so years in character and learning, you have more discipline in public schools. I know majority of them are not really encouraged, as the case may be, but back then, you don't go to
dare not
school
to
and
mess up.
you dare not and all that. So
So
these
so-
are
so-
things,
so
and
let me
also,
speak to that.
and also, you know, we've had our footballers, athletes from
From
public schools. Some private schools don't even have a pitch. Yet you
No
pay
space.
money for PHE.
No space
But there is
for
no, they have their Wednesdays, they wear their,
They wear
they don't
their
play anything.
sport wear.
Those guys just eat and play around in the classroom.
I
They can't
give
play
you-
any
I give
football.
you an
You get what I'm
example
saying?
of the Labjekas game, that is Lagos State first generation school games. They did this for the time I was in secondary school. They did this for consecutive 3 years, and there was no private school that could even come in the first 3.
They can't
It
because
was just King's College, FSTC, and Queen's College that were always winning. So what are we talking about?
so
we send you back to your school to go and bring money for us.
and so when we see government involvement in the public schools, you will understand where we are going. And also private schools almost always are profit driven. So I was thinking in my head, how much does it take you to train a medical student in private schools in Nigeria? I'm not saying the United States. Just imagine it.
In
And
Nigeria,
if you went to a federal university or
Yeah.
state university, the difference is like life and almost death.
So let's
And
start this round.
Okay, so while we are having this conversation, I begin to have a rethink of all we have been saying. Now, according to a report by World Bank in 2022, the report was titled Education and Health Services in Nigeria. The report said private schools consistently perform better than public schools across all indicators. A notable distinction was in their management of human resources. So I begin to wonder why you're telling me that private, okay, you said that private schools do not have qualified teachers.
You said who? Whose report?
By the World Bank.
By the World Bank, right?
By the World Bank. So, and this is this same World Bank that used to support, that is still supporting public schools. You understand? Because when you go to all these public schools, you see by TED Fund, by all those things. So if those who are actually supporting, funding those, right? Can you calm down?
Allow him now. Okay, let's have you.
So if those who are supporting these schools are even saying that private schools are perform better, then who are we to sit on this table? I graduated. I graduated.
You said what? Please, let's get this. When we're having conversation.
Please, can you just let me
just his opinion and have his his time. So let's have you.
It is a report. It's online. You can go and check it. That's what I'm saying. Now, some of us are beginning to say that private school does not have qualified teachers. Who told you? Who told you? And you said Nigeria as a country, we have turned out notable people.
Yes.
Wait, despite those people that we've turned out,
should we continue?
Okay, thank you.
I'm just supporting what you are saying. Now, if they have turned out those people, and this country is still where we are today, they are the one ruling us. They are the one ruling us, and we are still where we are today. Then I question that.
Academical learning different. There's a difference between
Good, which means learning does not take place then in public, because if these people were the people who were trained in the public schools, if these people were the people who were trained in public schools, and they are ruling us like this now. With Agbado, or you understand? They are doing us like this, and you said no. So there is a need for us to look through it and know that private schools, private institutions are doing better.
Thank you. Let me come in here. I think there's a need for us to speak to categories.
Okay.
Classification.
Okay.
There are schools and there are schools. At every level, as in we have levels. You have the lowest of them. You have the semi-lower, the middle. So there are classifications.
Exactly.
We don't just put all of them together and say private schools are not good, public schools are not good. Even to public schools, there are classifications. You would compare a public school in the urban area with the one in the rural area. We cannot. The kind of teachers you have in urban areas and those you have, especially coming to secondary and primary schools now, the ones you have in the urban areas and the one you have in the rural areas, you cannot put them at the same level. Although I think it's not supposed to be, but at the same time, I think they begin to deal with the level of understanding.
Because number one, you have to look at rural areas and urban areas. Like
yes.
The cost of living
in
rural
is
areas
different. So that is where tuition fee comes to play. That is where tuition fee comes to play. It is not.
The level of survival, how they survive.
You understand?
Rent, they're talking about land.
Chino Achebe was raised in the local area.
I never doubted that. So what impact? What positive impact? What positive impact?
You need to understand that the school does not teach you how to become.
Yes.
Okay. Who told you? Then the function of the school is defeated. The function of the school is defeated. If I graduate and
hold on. For me, I think even when you go outside of the school will do its own part.
Exactly.
Outside of the school, you have the responsibility.
Exactly.
People around you have the responsibility
Yes.
to push more.
So how does the school now play a role in that?
good because the school has not prepared them well. Now listen and listen good. Now listen and listen good.
How do you want
Listen.
Easy. The Nigerian school that went from Nigeria and went to Dubai, and we saw a leaked video of those children. Were they public students or
okay, are you saying I went to a private school? Are you saying we don't have that in private school, in public school? In fact, it started from the public schools.
No.
It started. I attended the public school.
Let's
bring another one.
Remember the leaked tape of those secondary school students that were doing what do you call it? The
excursion
in Dubai.
Yeah,
That's what
it is. What I'm saying is that are you saying such and even worse things are not happening in public schools? I dare you it. In fact, it's happening more. Even in public schools, in secondary schools, you have cults in there. You have cults in there. You have homosexuality there. We cannot.
Calm down. It's okay. No. Thank you. Let's bring it down. Thank you. At least let's have 2 seconds of calmness. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you. So, speaking to verified.
Yes, we should talk to verifiable.
So I want to take
facts.
this is fact, and I want to speak from experience. You understand? Those days.
Because experience is best.
Yes, those days they were not the age.
Experience could be called.
Calm down. Let's hear talk.
No.
This was not the age of technology where we have phones to cover events and all of that. But I want to tell you that when I was in JSS3, right, junior secondary, there is this group of ladies that would go out after school, during school period. They jump perfect. They don't go through the gates because I must tell you when it comes to discipline, public school, I give it to them.
Yes.
You understand? When you see students roam around during school hours, trust me, they are not going into the school. Because once it's 8, the gate is locked. When you come in, you will be flogged. You'll be punished, you'll be penalized, you pick, you do, you cut, You understand? So they use the fence to go out of the school. With time, they were caught, that there is this man that sells stuff not too far from the school. They go there to mess around and all of them. They brought them into the school on the assembly ground to discipline them. They confessed. In fact, one was close to me. I did not know. Thank God I was not. They didn't rub me in the whole mess. I know. I can remember the name very well. In fact, sometimes I just think, how I can't even find this girl, because that was the end of these people in the school. They were expelled.
A public school, right?
Yes, a public school. I attended a public school all through.
You dare not.
So I am telling
when
you that
when you talk about
not just in public school.
Yes, it happens in public
school.
school.
Now let me give you another angle to that. There was a principal who came to schools. One came, he saw the level of notorious activity in the school. The lady said, if you can't read, and she expelled students. Like the other principal, you don't come to school late. He stands at the gate. And people are running from miles away.
Yes.
There is a name, I don't want to mention his name. They start running. You can't try that. They just tell you, you can't beat my child in a private school. If you do that,
now, to tackle what you just said.
You said something about profit driven, right?
Yes.
That's the more reason why private schools can't even enforce discipline.
It is only, see, when we're talking about private school, like he said, we have private school and we have private school.
Yes.
See, I think the level of your exposure to private school is why you're saying all this. See, when you go to private schools, when you attend private schools that have this moral standard, they have this standard.
They rarely have it.
Maybe the one in your street, maybe the one in your street, maybe the one that put international in the name of this. No, we can't mention names on this platform. I will have mentioned names. And let me now put it to you. Let me now put it to you that in the next 10 years, because some of our social media influencers now, go and check, some of them attend private university. Calm down. We're not going to mention them now. Calm down.
In the university, and I can tell you that 70% of influencers attend public school.
did I mention? I didn't mention percentage.
I can tell.
I said some. So I'm telling you that gradually, times are changing. People know that education is not something to be toyed with. Just like the government are toying with it. They are doing what they like about it. Now, let me tell you, times are changing. Times are changing. Now, private schools are taking over.
How do you mean? What's that?
Private schools are taking over in the sense that even private, there are some things.
People can even afford 1 million to pay for a session fee.
Let me tell you, that is to you. If you don't have the money, that's another thing. If you don't have the wherewithal, if you don't have the wherewithal, that's another thing. But if you have the money and you want quality education, quality, please go for it. Go for it.
They can't even hit 100 in jam. They head straight.
And I can tell you, some private universities, some private schools won't take you if you don't know these things.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about that. They're telling me that public schools, do you know, don't even go there.
No, let's go there. I want us there. How many students in...
I guess we are going to be doing justice.
Do you know about expos when exam papers used to be?
Don't mind them. It's in private.
There are private schools that pay. They settle.
They are not the chief.
See, in private school, the center focus is the skill. What the student has on field. But in public schools,
it's profit.
Alright guys,
It's
alright
profit.
guys. We are coming back to this topic. I mean, we might probably just be doing only this today. Let's go on a short break. We'll come back to this topic. We'll be back. Alright, welcome back. It's been a very heated argument and conversation around here over this very topic. And like I said before, wait on that break. We will be bringing it back. So, guys, can you just please? Do you want me to kneel down? Please just give yourself time. Let's have time.
Please do. I want to see her kneel down.
Just as I said before that this will provide more quality education.
What's the quality?
Hey,
That's
I want to start from Danny, please.
No, let's start from him. He said private school offers more quality. What's the quality?
Okay, so because she mentioned something
That
before
expo,
you know, she talked about expo.
because
so can you expand?
like public schools, they are more into that expo thing, because they are not exposed to real academics.
Says who?
Did you say public?
Did you attend a public school? That's the question.
I did.
So that means you did not attend classes.
I won't attend classes.
I doubt.
I won't attend classes.
So why are you saying why are you making the point that public schools are not exposed to more?
Because this is what we saw. And that's why I attended like how many secondary schools. I had to leave. Eventually, I found my way back to private school, and the difference was really clear.
Well,
the
time you were in school was different from my own time. My own time we covered everything. Yeah. I'm okay. I give you. Sorry that I'm mentioning the name of my school too much.
Don't mention.
Okay. Even though I say it, people will know. My school happened to be the best, like back to back for 5 good years.
So how many?
So if they were not able to cover the syllabus, how come they could provide such numbers?
What are the parameters? What are the parameters before they give them that best? What parameters?
Obviously, WAEC exam and the other exams.
That's exactly what we are saying.
So what are you?
Now,
so what's the okay?
What we're saying is this: we have reduced education to paperwork. If you have A's in your WAEC, but I tell you that is not is not applicable now.
So,
now, what private school are focusing on is your skill. What you have to, what is in your brain.
Yeah.
Calm down. Some of the reasons why I personally prefer private school is one, they have alternative educational philosophies. Now, you see in some private school, they have what they call Montessori. They have other programs for extra that you can't find in the public school. I don't know any public schools you will find this kind of.
Sorry. Look for what you want to say. You can look for it. Keep looking for it.
Can you allow me to?
You are looking for it.
Allow me to?
Normally, I will be disappointed in this guy, but today I'm disappointed in this guy. If you are looking for skill, if you are looking to learn a skill, why don't you take your child to where they are learning skills?
Now,
if you are bringing your child to a school,
it is the failed education that makes
You
people.
don't need
to
to raise your voice to
It
make
is
a
the
point.
failed education. And this is why I'm also
Hello,
disappointed.
listen.
at
You
it,
don't
you
need to
understand?
Listen
raise
to
your
This
voice
is why I'm
to
also
make a point.
disappointed at it, because
Listen to me. Listen to me.
So 10
Are you ready to
seconds.
listen
10
to
seconds
me?
full of
I can't
wrap-up.
listen
I
to
want
you.
to have
You're not ready to
No,
listen.
I'm not going to listen to you.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay,
going
let's
to
have the
Please let him withdraw that statement. That
That's-
disappointed statement. Please withdraw it. We're on the show.
Okay.
You
So
said
it's
you
my
should
view.
withdraw it.
My apologies. I'm not disappointed. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of you.
Please come.
It's his opinion.
Please come.
So my bad. I take that back. My point is this: you cannot say that you are bringing your child to come and learn a skill in school. If you want to learn a skill as extracurricular activities, that's fine. You are coming to a place whereby the major purpose for your being there is academic work.
Okay.
Now, from there are other reasons.
I beg to disagree.
What is academic? What is academic?
So, okay.
Now let me draw
Let's have- let's have
my education from the word educado and all that. Its intent is to help you think,
Thank you.
Become better citizens.
think and solve problems.
Yeah.
Montessori is for kids. They do more sound and all that. It's for Italian. It's at Italy as its origin. Montessori is someone's name. It's a method of teaching, not necessarily the best.
Okay.
All right. And
Thank
so
you.
let's get our facts. Critical thinking and problem
Solving.
skills
Exactly.
is what we really need. So you can't even tell me how many private schools do critical thinking and problem solving skills. How many of them? And so let's talk to the real issue. Now, if the government would invest like they did in some years ago in education and make sure the qualified teachers are well to pay, why do some people go to be taught to apply in private stuff? It's just money. It's predominantly it's about the money. The pay is better if you are teaching in a private school, whether you have to teach like 4. So I mean, private schools have special teachers for each subject.
Even the
But in
reason,
public
see,
schools,
the
sometimes
reason
you
why
have to
people
run-
don't even take their children to public anymore for the university section is just because of strike.
You just cause
Honestly
just
speaking.
Just because of.
And
because
so
strike,
I
just
think
because-
if
that's what we are saying.
I think if
That
the
is
government,
where-
That's not what you are saying.
So
That's
that's
not what you are
let me
saying.
conclude. So public schools are
Let me
failing.
conclude now, so that
We
you
hope
can take
public
it
school
from
can be better. There's no argument about that. It can be better. But as it stands now, I think private schools are doing better.
Okay,
But
now this is my point. I don't know what yardstick you
Use
have
to draw your
to say
measures.
Yeah.
private is doing better, but as far as I'm concerned, education is holistic. It's not just whether you do paper only. Paper is good, but let's also think of critical thinking and problem solving skills. If we bring this into it, I mean, we used to have technical. Yeah, but there used to be a technical school.
Yes, not even
Do you
one
understand?
along
And so let the government
Yeah,
invest
or
more in this. For those who don't have business in universities, leave it alone. If you don't have business in polytechnic, leave it alone. If you don't have business in colleges of education, leave it alone. Focus, get the basics. That's what happened. It's operational in the States and everywhere. Have your basics, know how to read and write and communicate. She can now solve your problems.
So basically, Julie has said a lot of things. Now, fine, yes, Montessori, blah blah that. It's a method of teaching, but it's for a particular purpose. And that purpose is exactly what you're saying, problem solving and critical thinking. Because they found out that some children, for every child, we have audiovisual learners, we have different kind of aesthetic. Some children, they use their hands to learn. Some children, they use their ears to learn. Some children are visual learners. They use what they see, videos and all of that. You see, number one, basically, let's go to the roots. Education in Africa is a no-no. When you now go to the Western world, most of them are not educated, but you will not know. I have a friend who is white.
Sorry, if I may ask you a question, why do you say education in Africa is a no-no?
It's a no-no, it's poor. We're poorly educated. It's not where it's supposed to be. It can be better.
May I ask you a question? Why is it that more of our doctors are employed abroad?
Let's
Because they have the skills now.
Where do they learn it from?
Can you speak to?
Where do they learn it from?
Please hold on.
Okay,
Yes, let's
so as I was saying, he has really put me, So basically, even over there in the Western world, I have a friend, and I was surprised because her handwriting skills, in fact, there's something called Nelson handwriting, which some schools, have imbibed, especially private schools. I don't know about public schools, because it's like they call it a triple fold grip, the way you hold your pen. And I was looking at her, she was writing, and she was really writing well. You could see that she's skilled. And when she told me that she did not even do secondary school or something like that, primary, whatever, or no, she finished her secondary, the way they call those high school and all of that. And I was shocked because the way she spoke, the way she now in Nigeria, let's look at the statistics. I don't really know the statistics. How many of our youths now that supposedly went to secondary school, look at their handwriting, look at the way they present and communication skills, where is that level? And you're telling me that this and that.
So
No.
let's have you.
Okay, first and foremost, would you like
First
to?
and foremost, this probably the last.
Okay,
I never gave my own
my point is this. My point, it may not be up to the extent where your ideal education sector should be, but at least we are getting somewhere. Because if education is a no, trust me, they will not be employing our doctors over there.
Okay.
They will our students that live here to go and do PhD or masters there will not come out top in their classes.
You know.
They won't get that. So I don't know if you've written our exams in this. It will be as if they want you to fail.
And as a matter of fact, in addition,
Our exams here are very difficult.
The way we handle classes here, you compare to the other,
That is why.
Our workload too.
That is what is
Workload.
not
But you know
applicable
one
in private school.
But
That's
you know
what
one
we're
thing,
saying.
let's be
Those are some of the loopholes that private school are introduced to fill. That's what we're saying.
But do you know one thing? Let me speak to what you're saying.
Okay.
We Nigerians, do you know that we're resilient? In any
Yes.
way we find ourselves,
Yes,
we have that thing in our blood to come out tops. We're resilient and we're patriotic. Anywhere you see in Nigeria, you will know that.
Now
this is
what
Nigeria.
what makes
So
a
that is what
Nigerian
makes us
Nigerian
different.
resilient?
Our-
Is
Because
it not
of our
the
nature.
process
No,
that the
it's not
person
the
has
process.
been through?
It's our foundation right from the beginning.
Wow.
Let's
Foundation
get
and process is the same.
Africa,
Okay, so let's come back.
in its cradle, when you talk of Alexandria in Egypt, it's a home of learning. So let's not say education as
What
well. It
impact
started
has
from
that had in the
Africa,
society
Timbuktu. Timbuktu. When you say Africa, I'm taking down memory lane, so you know when you say Africa education, we had it. We've messed it up in recent times, but we had it.
Oh,
And
you
so
messed
please,
it up. I love that
let's
word.
get some facts
I love
really
that
clear.
word. Messed it up.
What's your point
didn't learn,
exactly?
We didn't learn from the whites. We didn't learn from the Europeans. We had it. We had our civilization.
But you-
We started from our education.
Yes.
All right. We had commerce and all that going
Yes.
before the transatlantic slave trade stepped in. So
But you
please,
messed it
let's
up.
get the conversation right.
Good.
Africa has its education that met its problem, that
So
solved its
what
problem.
we are saying basically now, it's we're actually doing a comparison between public and private school. We are not saying Africa do not have.
No, he's just
education.
replying to what she
Okay,
said.
Okay,
So-
we are just trying to compare. Okay, so let me just come in here as well.
My
You guys have
sense-
actually, don't worry, you take your 30 seconds, but at least let me to say something.
Yes, you should. Why?
No, you can allow him to say so. You just round up.
Okay, so let's
Okay, so government can do better when it comes to public schools. They can do better. But we're calling on them to invest more in education and make it more appealing, make it more functional. I think another thing is that private schools are not competing with public schools. Education, you don't compete. It's not about competition. It's about the act. It's about creating a better society for everybody. So in that vein, this is one of the reasons why private individuals comes up. So, okay, let's support the government. In fact, in the Western world, they have been, even in this country, they have been called on private individuals to come support public schools. In fact, in my state, the state governor recently returned back a public school back to the private owners, which is the missionaries. You understand? So I think this is very, very important.
Yeah, very.
Education is holistic, and we must do better in all we're doing.
Alright, thank you very much, Joe. Thank you, everyone. So, but when I start speaking, I just want to say this part as my own contribution, not because I want us to go back to the conversation. Please. You see, I lost my voice already. I'm struggling with it. So, I want to speak to exposure to data. The extent to which private schools are moving, or the pace at which they are moving. Don't forget I talked about categories though. So, but let's take it a bit higher. You see that their students are more exposed to data. Even while they're in class, they can do internet stuffs and all of that. It makes learning more easier for them compared to that private schools where teacher will still have to carry the note and write maybe on the board, either using the chalk or white board or whichever. So I think there's a need for public school to upgrade, when it comes to that level. So everybody can be on the same page. You can be or exposed to more data and self-learning. Not necessarily waiting for when teachers will come to class and all of that. So
sorry, government alone can't fund education. Old student association,
Yes.
people should come back and give back to their community.
Yes.
Libraries and laboratories and all that, teaching aids. You don't need the government to.
Okay, so talking about government involvement, you mentioned earlier that private governments are lagging behind. Well, to some extent they are trying, but they need to do more. Like you also said, government cannot do it all by themselves. I want to speak to basic amenities, especially for public schools. Private schools, because they collect the money, they don't afford to get anything. You are paying for it anyway.
You're paying for tuition.
So for public schools, we keep clamoring for reduced tuition fee or even
Public
free
schools
education.
don't pay tuition.
They have a part. They have
Yes,
some
they
fee.
they are
pay.
what
And back then we've had education where it was completely free. You even get books and all of that to go to classrooms. So even though we know that things are changing, times have changed, you need to put in something, because everything that is free sometimes you don't take it too seriously.
Yes.
So you need to put in something one way or the other. Yes. As much as they are trying to make it a bit easier, they should also understand that these basic amenities are very key. Now you talked about pattern of learning. Some love to learn via visuals and all of that. If we introduce all of this into public schools as well,
It's introduced. It's introduced.
in all of the public schools.
Now,
Yes,
I've not
when you
seen.
have computers
I've
in
not
the
seen
school,
a private school whereby visually impaired students are there.
We're not talking
I
about,
don't
we're
know.
talking about visually impaired.
I
No.
know she said
We're not talking about
like I said
visually.
earlier,
you were
please,
saying
I
people
just
who
want to-
learn.
I'm
We're
bringing
not
this
talking
not
about
because I want us to get up another conversation. I'm just sharing my own,
no
I noted all of this. So we're talking about playing videos to learn,
That's what we're talking
because some people learn
about.
faster
Yes.
when
But
they
see,
than when you speak to them, when you read to them. So these are the things that should be taken care of. There should be constant electricity. So when there's a need for you to play videos, to teach and all of that, you do that. So that's the aspect that I wanted to speak to. Also, so talking about payment of staff, it's important. Let's not say because they are public servants, you just give them peanuts. In fact, teachers should be paid more. They made doctors, they made lawyers, they made engineers, they made everybody, whatever status.
But do you know,
are-
but do you know that, when I carried out like my own personal, it's everywhere in the world. Teachers are poorly paid, even in the US, in the UK, most of them complain. It's only in Finland, as I heard, as I researched, that they pay their teachers well. So I don't know why, maybe because they feel that our reward is in heaven. I don't know, but basically everywhere in the world, they are not really paid like that compared to the doctors, the neurosurgeons, all those qualified, professions.
So when we wrap up, so I am saying that we can do better. Encourage them more, because sometimes they even get discouraged when they know that after a month we end, they will give him a peanut salary. But if you carry them well, you pay them more. At the end of the month, they get some stuff. At the end of the year, they get some stuff. Trust me, they will put more effort. And last thing I want to speak to, I think it was Israel that said private schools. There was a research you read.
Yes, by
The World
the World Bank.
that private schools are doing more.
Yes, consistently
No,
perform
in a-
better
That's
than
to this
public
report.
schools, according to
This report. So, if you ask me, you also mentioned earlier that you talked about helping. What did you call
Nelson
it?
handwriting.
No.
Another one.
Writing, for exam that you
Expo,
hands.
Jump and all
So,
that.
so that I have seen, private schools. I think they are the one that actually help their students more. That I have
Help
seen.
is different from when you are cheating, when
it
you are
is
actually
helping.
carrying
Cheating
the.
is
What do you call that?
according to
No.
her, anyway.
When I say help, maybe I don't want to call it expo.
That's according to
They
her.
get all of
That's
these
what-
papers
that's what
from
she
white,
has-
and that is why a lot of students, even when they're in public school, you see them want to go and write the exam in private school. They want to go and write their WAEC as an external candidate.
But we have seen
That's
public
excellent.
schools now
Even
having-
even
I know, what
even
I'm
in
saying-
the so-called common entrance, private
Yes.
schools still go and write it in public schools.
Okay, fine. I am just saying that, at least to some large extent, experiences or probably conversations I've had with people, private, you see people leaving government schools, going to register as excellent candidates for WAEC at private schools simply because they know that they will get 7 A's, they will get 8 A's. They are scared of the structure, the process in public schools when it comes to marking scheme and all of that. They want to, so it means that they teach them more, they give them that support, they write in papers and scribble to their, their
It's all about
table
money,
during
private
exam when
stuff.
you
If
pay
I
the
pay
money.
250,000,
You know. So
How dare
I
you?
think we should begin to look at all of this. Private schools, public schools. Let's bring all of this down. Let's be more creative in teaching so that they will understand. When it comes to examination, what's the essence? To test you, to try you, to see if all of these things you've been taught, you can actually put them together. And there's no plan in failing.
Yeah, sorry.
When you fail, they don't want to come back.
Just to buttress what you are saying, I think on this table we've had the conversation about the Nigerian education localizing the way we teach.
Yes,
We
using
can
even local
localize our-
languages.
even using local language to teach. This will help
Another thing
education.
for us to think about, why did they start examination? We really need examination.
You know,
Why do
when
we
you
need
study for
examination?
6 years and they're coming to say just
We should
few
find out
questions.
why we started examination
So,
and why,
I
because
think
it's
we're
the
gonna talk
fear
about that
of
some other
failing
time on
an
this show.
examination that drawn people into
Yeah.
exams and issues.
But if we don't have examinations, that's another. How will you test?
Access.
Then there are
Access.
other ways you can
Evaluating,
assess. There are other ways
examination
you
is
can
an
evaluate
evaluation
them.
Yeah,
process.
it is.
So you can evaluate without necessarily.
I can bet
all
it
we-
too. The only time you will read more is when you have exam.
True.
And it's not because you want
That's
to
when you
do
read
it,
more.
it's because you want to pass.
All right. Okay. So, guys, thank you very much. I think I've actually made my points.
Sorry, I just
Made
wanted
as
to
well.
add
In
something.
addition, okay.
Let's forget the public versus private.
Okay.
The people who employ these teachers
Yes.
should not just employ people who are looking for salaries.
Mhm.
They should employ people who have passion for the
Yes.
job. Because people who don't have passion, you find them that they will look for every shortcut to do whatever they are going to do. That's why you find out that some university teachers will leave one school and go and be teaching in another one and neglect the ones in so.
Medical doctors do the same.
So
Yes,
It's across
yes,
board.
yes.
Private
so-
practices.
You know. Okay, so that's it. We've actually made our point, and I want to believe that for every department that this information is meant for, they will be able to grab it and use it effectively. We want creativity, in the system, want things to change. Yes, life is changing. Everything should flow, and it should be more creative and more positive. There should be positive outcome. All right, guys. So I thought we'll be able to take the second topic, but obviously we've run out of time. We can't take the second, let alone the third topic. We really took time to dwell into the first topic, which is comparing public and private education. Trust me, tomorrow we'll be having another special topic to deal with. And for this, on this note, I will be saying thank you for your time. Thank you for being part of the show. Do not forget to comment, like, and follow us on all our social media platforms. And share. We'll be here tomorrow again to do the same thing. So until tomorrow, stay positive. Thank you, guys. Okay, a very shout out to everybody behind the cameras, everybody. Those ones that came to give us moral support in the studio. Thank you, guys. Our editors, camera guys, we love you.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.